such a cool picture on it. God, I'd love to have that in my house. We don't even have a room this big for that house, for that picture.
Like I said, whenever you're ready, they just called me a couple of minutes ago.
Okay.
So,
I'm doing the final touches. I'm just trying to make sure audio and all is working good.
Yes, sir. Not rushing you by any means.
You're good. Let's see here. It's a little bit delayed, so from that to this.
Okay.
So that's why I was waiting. It's like a 10-second delay because it's a safety feature. And the way it's been explained to me is if somebody, and I hate to say it like this, but if somebody was like on live and
Yeah.
Facebook could recognize it real quick and shut it all down.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why it's a little delay from that to this.
Okay. Are you going to be staring at the screen like, because that would mess me up having to like, if I was glancing back and forth and seeing myself talk, you know.
No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to be looking right here. I think we're on. We're ready to go. All right, let's go. All right, look good. And we might not have anybody watching or making comments watching her because it's that middle of the day kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you just let us know where you want us
Everybody.
at.
No
big deal.
That's it. See pictures. I'll sit in the middle of it, that's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you want. It's your podcast.
All right. Make sure we're all in here. All right. How's it look? Can you see us all in there? We look good? Okay. All right. Well, hello, everybody. And so this week, y'all, as y'all know, I got the Army Corps of Engineers here today, and I'm up here at the Visitor Center, and I got Mr. Garrett, how do you say it, Bramlett, and Evan Brazier with me, and we also have some people on the phone right now, because I know a lot of you had a lot of questions about necessarily pertaining to like water management, drought conditions, and water levels, things like that. You know, maybe why some of y'all's docks are on, on land and stuff like that. And I got some people here that can kind of answer some questions along that line, so we can cover that stuff. So if y'all want to kind of, I guess we can kind of start there really, and go to the water level questions. If that's fine, we go.
Yeah.
Who do we have on the phone?
So on the phone, we got Cherie with us. Cherie, I don't know if you want to do a brief introduction of who you got on your side of the phone, but we just started the podcast here.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Cherie Gray with Richard. I work for the Corporate Communications Office in the Savannah District. And I'll let Craig and Stan introduce themselves.
Good afternoon. This is Stan Jepson. I'm the lead water ranger here in the Savannah District. We manage all three of the projects as far as the relation. And my name is Craig Clark. I'm the Southern Supply Manager here in the Savannah District.
Awesome. Nice to meet y'all. I really appreciate y'all coming on today. So basically a couple of the questions that I have had from people pertaining to water levels and things like that, and I'll just kind of go down the list right here, was the first one is like how much rain or how much does rainfall in other areas like affect Clarkshill Lake?
Hey, this is Craig. Clarkshill, the watershed covers roughly about 3,000 square miles, stretching as far west as Washington and north to Cornelia and Tacoma. But any rainfall anywhere in that area will eventually flow down into the lake. However, any rainfall that's lower, the lower part of the lake has no effect on lake levels. That, any effect upstream. But, and so Clarkshill, the water basin right there is a wide area, so, anyway, it can travel pretty far. That's kind of a major driver for lake levels, at least for right.
Yeah, like different creeks and things like that all along.
Correct, yeah.
I gotcha. I know she, Miss Cherie was explaining it to me like a bathtub, and I thought that was a really cool, if somebody wanted to kind of tell everybody about that explanation of it, I thought that was a really cool example of like how it kind of all works.
Yeah, and I think that kind of goes to one of your questions as well, but, the state itself, they don't want to own water. The Corps owns the dam and the reservoir. Do more of that, that's what the analogy is, the bathtub.
Yeah.
Container. And we just manage the releases downstream for things like, fish wildlife, water supply, things like that. And with the state, we have minimum flow requirements to meet for those needs.
I gotcha. Yeah, I was reading on the drought management plan about that kind of stuff, and I was going to tell everybody watching too. I'm going to add a link later on. I couldn't do it a minute ago, but I will provide a link later on for everybody that wants to look at the Savannah River Basin Drought Management Plan, and you can go and it shows literally anything you want to know, all the questions you want answered. If these people on the phone can't answer, I promise you it is all on there. I looked at it last night for about an hour, and it has all the different triggers for when they do different things, like different levels at different months, at different times of the year. It's really interesting, so y'all go check that out. And so the next question I would say was, is power generation the biggest factor, or is flood control equally as important?
Flow control is definitely our primary, that is our primary authorized purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely our main concern, especially when it comes towards safety and well-being of the
Mm-hmm.
But also point out that we have multiple project purposes that we manage, especially Stan and I as the water managers for the basin. So we try to balance all those project purposes together. But does shift in priority depending on the lake level driven. Just kind of an example, if we're on flood control, then primary concern there is we want to keep the dam safe from overtopping. So we will try to move that water downstream. But if we are in conditions like we are right now, or we're in drought, our concern for flood control is not as real since we have a large amount of storage capacity to capture any rain runoff.
Gotcha.
We're kind of in conservation mode whenever we get into drought operations versus we're trying to do good with flood operations.
Gotcha. Because you have to protect the dam as well, from my understanding or reading that program, is like, you have to protect that dam too, because you can't have too much pressure and stuff up against that wall from water flow and all that, or it being too high.
Correct. As well as with downstream, because we are already somewhat typically flooded out, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to store as much of the storm as we can in the reservoirs.
Yes, sir.
And then let it enter the storm at a non-damaging rate.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll go into the next one. I got wrote down, like, what is one thing the public misunderstands about lake levels that y'all hear about probably the most?
Just kind of again, like we don't own the water.
Mm-hmm.
Or does not own the water. It's the state. That's state owned. Another thing that comes up periodically is, especially in public meetings, somebody will say, I'm coming out, the water went down, 20 feet. And from a reservoir elevation reading, it went down, we're going to, it is measuring, the water
Makes a lot of
Well,
sense.
they get confused when they look at our gauge reading and they go, that's not right, it's 28. So it's just a matter of trying to educate everybody as to how we read things and how we look at the lake.
I got you. I understand. Yeah, that makes total sense because when you see some slopes and stuff, it'll be somebody who might have a gradual slope, or somebody might live where their boat dock's at like more of an incline. Is what you're saying, basically, and that confuses them. Yeah, I got you. That makes sense. All right. Well, moving on to the next one, I was going to ask, how far in advance do you guys predict like water level changes or things like that to kind of get ready for like a future drought and like kind of explain to everybody like what do y'all do in that process?
So every Wednesday we put out a water declaration that's sent to different agencies and things like that. And it's also put up on our webpage as well, so that's publicly accessible.
Yes, sir.
We use it and we project out 10 days from that Wednesday. And these are all driven based on rainfall and any kind of generations that the Southeastern Power Administration keep up what they need to meet their local rural power demand.
Yes, sir.
So that inflow, that rainfall, we use a lot of NOAA's the Southern Eastern River Forecast Center. We use their predictions on what that rainfall is going to look like. But we also do a 10-week projection as well to try and but a lot of that comes into account looking at different droughts and what those predictions are going forward from the National Drought Center and predicting what the level might be further out. Again, they're all predictions. It's not going out 10 weeks is very difficult for us to manage that, but then we feel fairly confident in going to 5 weeks. There's no weather service that can be put down different types of forecasts where it's one short term duration, which is between like 1 and 7 days. And that's kind of boring. What's going to happen in that temporary period in between this Wednesday and next Wednesday. The long term, they put out a 30-day and 90-day forecast, and it's kind of a probability-based forecast. And all we're pretty much looking at is it getting wetter or is it getting drier. If it's getting drier, then we're kind of adjusting the way we're balancing the pools and getting ready to hit the drought triggers as the pools drop. So we use both those. We don't trust the rainfall forecast more than about 3 days out, though. Meaning that even though the weather service is very good at what they do, they don't have perfect confidence in the weather function in their farms.
Yeah, that's my understanding as well. Yeah, that's true. Do y'all do anything like look at like past projections and stuff, like the last 10 years, from March to July, it's been, we've been getting, the average has been like this amount. Do y'all kind of like go off like old projections like that when you kind of make those decisions as well? Or is it more like you said, like a more just very recent type of deal?
Well, to some degree, we have that graph that we look at, and it kind of has different rules associated with different elevations. First graph plan we made was in the late 80s, and we've revised it several times since then. So every time we have another serious drought, we kind of do take a look back at the new drought, so to speak, and say, all right, what do we need to do? How do we need to adjust this drought plan? So we've made 2 or 3 adjustments to it since then.
Yes, sir.
And we'll probably continue to do that anytime we see a drought that's worse than a previous drought.
Yeah.
Then we have to kind of get a little more conservative.
I got you. Yeah, I remember reading about that. I remember the 2008, 2009 winter drought was was one of the biggest ones y'all had, and when y'all had a big revision.
Right.
I got you. Okay. Well, if y'all don't mind, I got I think one more question for y'all. It was just, I was just going to ask, somebody was wanting to know, do you think the Corps of Engineers would ever turn control of all their lakes to the states, or is that something that, or do y'all know that part of it? Yes, sir.
We have in the past, they have had considerations about privatizing the hydropower portion of the project. But that just means somebody else would be running the same amount. Remember, that was base water.
Yes, sir.
You still want the same amount over downstream, so it just be somebody else running the.
Running. Yeah. I got you.
Very serious risk.
Oh, okay. I got you. I understand. All right. Well, I think that's gonna about wrap it up on like all the water level questions. And I really appreciate y'all guys calling in for everybody to kind of answer those. And we'll take it over, I guess, from here.
All right, thanks.
Thank you,
Do
sir.
you want us to stay on the phone, or do you want to?
Oh, gee. You can hang up if you want to. That's fine.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Well, thank y'all so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank y'all. Awesome. That was cool. And like I said, guys, like for anybody who has any other questions pertaining to water level concerns, things like that, like I said, I will provide the link after we're done. So anyways, let's moving on to some other questions here. And so something actually before we start with questions, let's do like I said earlier. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm gonna let these guys kind of explain what they do, and kind of go from there. So if you want to kind of start, Garrett,
Yeah,
you can.
absolutely. So once again, I'm Garrett Bramlett. I'm the Recreation Chief Ranger for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers here at the J. Strong Thurman Project for the Savannah District. Ultimately, that means that I just handle and oversee all the recreation that goes on the lake as far as Corps managed areas.
What about you, Evan?
So, name's Evan Brazier. I'm a conservation biologist, so my job's kind of a dual purpose kind of job. So I'm kind of doing fishery management stuff and wildlife management stuff as well.
Okay,
So work in Savannah District as well here at Jason.
I got you. Do you as far as you, do you kind of coincide a lot and work with like the game wardens, local DNR and stuff like that on projects and stuff like that? Y'all kind of
With the fisheries biologist.
Yeah, fishery biologist. I got you. That's cool. What would you consider the overall health of our fishery right now at Clarkshill?
Well, kind of like Stan, mentioned there, the state's on the water,
Mhm.
so they pretty much, they do all the surveys. We assist with their surveys, like gillnet survey stuff.
Okay.
Trapping fish, doing different
Things
telemetry
like-
studies and stuff like that. But as far as us keeping track of the health,
That would be more DNR. More DNR. Okay, I got you. Well, what wildlife species has thrived over the last few years that you've seen around the area?
well, since Hurricane Helene, especially opened up the overstore and some of that stuff, because a lot of this land that's around the lake was overstocked for years, and when they let it grow up, the whole farm fields and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then, of course, they planted some of it too. Yeah, now more than ever that we've got some of this canopy open. Sunlight's finally getting down there. We got really good forests coming up along the grasses as well. But quail and turkey population seems like around the lake here really starting.
Well, turkey starting to.
That's
That's really
really good surveys because I do surveys as far as well
Mm-hmm.
on two of the units that we have here.
I got you. Yeah, I just had somebody on my last podcast and they were talking about how important, how critical sunlight getting down and creating that forage
Yeah.
for animals, how important that is.
Diversity is key to it.
And I
You can't
didn't.
just have one thing,
Yeah.
monoculture is one thing. You gotta have diversity out there
Yeah.
for all species.
And the way he explains, because they're eating all the time. And white oak acorns might be dropping over here and they're on that, but once they stop dropping, they're going to go straight over here and start eating on some other stuff. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty interesting that y'all are getting a good population since you got some sunlight. So maybe Helene was a
It was a blessing.
a hidden
For
blessing.
wildlife habitat.
Yeah, for wildlife habitat. Yeah, it was definitely drastic, crazy for everything else. But yeah. Are you concerned at all about any kind of, or have you been hearing anything about any species of fish or anything that's got you with having any concerns or anything right now?
I mean, besides the spotted
Just
bass.
I figured that's what she was gonna say. That's what everybody's kind of concerns has been. Well, what's kind of
Now, as far as habitat stuff, we've kind of shifted, probably about 2 years ago, we started largemouth bass. habitat and nursery initiative here at the lake. So we're utilizing bamboo, basic bamboo species, and creating shallow water nursery habitat for largemouth bass here at the lake. So we're targeting about eight creeks a year,
Okay.
roughly.
Okay. And putting habitat in there for that, that's awesome. Cool, that was actually one of my questions, and somewhere in here was like, what, yeah, right here, next one was, kinda like what kind of habitat improvements, you know, if y'all had any going on, you know, basically, so that would be one of them.
Yeah.
I got you. So, and then like I said, I had one person ask, about the hydrilla, if one of y'all wanted to talk about that, probably you, probably maybe. Like, what are y'all doing about the hydrilla in there? Is that something that y'all like and y'all want, or is it something that's?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily?
It's an invasive species. It's pretty much like kudzu on the land, but it's in the water.
In the water, yeah.
Yeah. But it's originated from India, so it's not native as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, as far as, since 2019, there hasn't been any reports, or we haven't seen any during our surveys and stuff.
Mhm.
Because between us, Georgia BNR, and South Carolina, we do pretty extensive surveys of the lake.
Yeah. Get my man here involved. He's over here, man, like, man, where's my guy? I'm ready to come in, coach. I'm ready to play. So here we go. We're gonna give him a couple red crescent questions real quick. Let my man here catch his breath. All right. So for you, recreation side, what improvements or projects are currently taking place, or that y'all have maybe going on in the near future?
Okay. I mean, some of our biggest things right now,
Mhm.
after Hurricane Helene had came through, like I said, it was a blessing for certain aspects, wildlife.
Mhm.
For recreation, it was devastational here
Yeah.
in the project. I'm sure there's a lot of the listeners that you have that are local to the area, and they know just how bad the storm is, so we won't get into that too much, but it ultimately shut down every single one of our recreation areas for a short period of time there. And we had thousands and thousands and thousands of trees just fall all over the place. And when that happens, it crushed our electrical out there, like at our campgrounds, our pedestals. It crushed water lines. Or else the trees that fell ripped up, had massive root balls that came up out of the ground, and they ripped up our water lines. So not only that, we had a couple of our facilities, like some gatehouses, some restrooms, take damage and whatnot. So to get back to your question about improvements, this was a perfect opportunity for us to get in there and actually make improvements. A lot of our infrastructure is on the older side, just because the project was built decades ago at this point. Its campgrounds have been around for a long time, so we're able to get in there now. We have done extensive work to all of our electrical, and pretty much every single one of our campgrounds, every single one of our day use areas. And the same thing goes for water lines. We're having to pretty much replace all of that right now. So with that being said, we're not focusing on anything new. We're more or less kind of getting at what we already have and improving. So this has been a perfect opportunity. So there hasn't been a single park, campground, or boat ramp in some way, shape, or form that hasn't been touched in the last couple of years since Hurricane Helene, and we're actively working on that.
Like improving them and seeing what needs to be done possibly.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have something like this happens, I think naturally it just kind of shows where maybe
You already had some weaknesses or something.
we might have had some weaknesses that we weren't even aware of.
I wasn't even aware of,
And so it's been an opportunity for us to just kind of rebuild and rebuild better at a lot of our locations right now. So but that's occupied 99% of our time. Over the last good little while. So right now, that's pretty much what we're focusing on. We're not opening up any kind of campgrounds to new projects right now, especially until we get all the stuff that we have.
That you already have going,
Opened up, because we still have a couple places closed down from the storm that we're trying to get to right now, just to open back up.
I was about to say, just very recently, y'all had a campground open back up. I can't remember which one it was, but Ridge Road?
Yeah, Ridge Road was one of our last campground, or was our last campground to open up there. And I mean, I can't tell you how happy the couple was about that one.
Me too.
I mean,
me and my daddy used to camp there. That was literally everywhere we camped. The only place we camped.
That is definitely one of the favorite campgrounds for people to camp at around this
Yeah.
lake. And so it does look different. We lost a lot of trees. It was our most impacted campground, which is why it was the last one to open up.
Yeah.
But cleared out a whole bunch of trees in there, but we did a lot of work to it. We worked really hard, and our contractors, R&D, worked extremely hard as well. And that goes for all the staff in this office, really, truly, the rangers.
I'm sure it took everybody.
Managers, and
Everybody.
contractors. It took everybody, and they worked really hard. They were able to get that one open, and so a lot of people were really happy about it.
Really happy at that. I bet you did. I know that. Like I said, that was one of my favorite ones. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna check something real quick. So I don't check. Just double checking the volume, because this thing was like scaring me a minute ago. I think it was on for a minute, so we're still getting volume, okay. All right, what are some hidden gems around the lake that more people should visit?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a lot, really. It's hard. Every single one of the parks that I go to, you know, we try to promote this locally to a lot of people. We got a lot of parks around this lake here that people have never visited before. But some of my favorites, which I don't get too much time to go spend up at, like Calvin Falls is one of our boat ramps, I'd say. That's kind of hidden. It's on the north end of the lake.
I was about to say, I never even heard of it. Okay.
Yeah, on the South Carolina side.
Okay.
And yeah, it's up there on the furthest north end of the lake. And just a really cool one because where you put in that boat ramp, you can see the Russell Dam, but you're technically on the Thurman project up there. So
Okay.
it's really cool. But other than that, our Lake Springs Park, our West End Park, back down on the south end of the lake here, those are probably two of my favorites. When I first moved here, I was taking my family out there because I just thought they were so fascinating.
Yeah.
Lake Springs.
Lake Springs, probably where all my family used to go.
Yeah, it's a massive park, and that's another one that we're actively working on now.
How's that tower there?
The gatehouse.
I don't know, it's just a tower. I remember you go around on the levee and you go and climb up the tower.
The watchout tower.
The
Yeah,
one-
that's still
you used to go there all the time as a kid. Is that still there?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
still there, and yeah, it didn't. From my
No
perspective,
damage,
I don't
nothing?
think it took damage. If it did, it was pretty minimal.
Yeah,
there, so,
good.
It's good to go. But yeah, some of those parks on the south end of the lake are super cool to go to. That people have never been before. We have swim beaches.
Yeah.
A lot of those parks also have their own boat ramps inside them and whatnot. So, but campgrounds. Hall Creek Campground on the South Carolina side, it's a real quiet campground, really pretty. It wasn't impacted by the storm too terribly much. Really pretty. And, yeah, Hickory Knob. It's not one of our places, but
Oh, it's not?
no, sir.
Okay.
But and then on the Georgia side, I will have to say it's kind of a toss up between Petersburg and Richmond for me. Those
Yeah,
are also two
yeah.
beautiful campgrounds. Petersburg's unique and has its own kind of pond
Mhm.
back in there. So, but yeah, I'd say maybe those are.
Okay.
Not hidden gems because people know about Petersburg
Yeah.
and Ridge Road.
I've heard of Calhoun would be,
yeah,
all of that.
Boat ramps, you know.
Yeah.
Just a cool spot to go to, and maybe a different style of fishing for some of the
For
people.
sure,
They're
yeah.
cool water up that way.
And also here's a lot more like stuff in the water, structure and stuff up that way, right? I don't know if there is that true?
I was gonna say,
True?
you have to ask him.
There is?
Since you go up past 378, you gotta really stay in that center channel market.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. I'll give you one more then, and then we'll jump back to him for a couple. What goes into maintaining all of the recreation areas around the lake? A lot.
It's a lot, yeah. It's I think a lot more than a lot of people realize, but we have 51 PSAs, recreational areas around this lake, so that's combined between campgrounds, our day use parks, as well as boat ramps. So it is a lot. We have our operations and maintenance O&M contractors. They handle a lot of the maintenance for us. So as far as the park looking pretty and handling our electrical, our water issues, they do that. But other than that, general maintenance to it, rangers patrol every single weekend pretty much. And they're out there just trying to make sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, not
Yeah.
using the park and whatnot.
Leaving behind trash and
Yeah,
stuff
you know,
like that, little things.
Yeah, keeping an eye on things and also just engaging with the public, trying
Yeah.
to do water safety. A huge initiative that the Army Corps of Engineers does,
Doing-
especially recreation, is doing water
Yeah.
safety. You know, so like we have life jacket loaner stations.
I
that
see
we
that,
keep
love
on.
that.
Yeah, most of our parks and a lot of our boat ramps, we have those. So the public, if they, you know, in a hurry, you know.
Well, yeah.
To get to the lake, you forget your life jackets or
Yeah.
something like that. You can definitely pick some up at one of our parks or boat
Yeah.
ramps, and we just ask that you return it back to us. But yeah, no, it's just a whole bunch of miscellaneous things. We do inspections every single year. We try to inspect our playgrounds. We constantly inspect our swim beaches that are out there. So really, takes all the rangers in the office and specifically the rec rangers to go out there and just kind of handle all that. So.
Before I get off of that real quick, is there any volunteer opportunities for anybody out there?
Absolutely. If anyone is interested in volunteering, you're more welcome to call up to the Visitor Center here at the J. Strom Thurman Project. They can visit our website for more information there. We do typically post out ads on Work Camper Ad as well as volunteer.org. But yeah, as of right now, the best way to get a hold of us is through one of those ads or calling up to the Visitor Center. So we're always actively trying to recruit volunteers. And it's nice to get some of the local people in here that really care about
By the lake, yeah.
you know, recreation areas
Yeah.
and being able to provide those experiences to other people. So yeah, absolutely. If anyone's got interest in volunteering with the Army Corps of Engineers, they can just get with us at the Visitor Center or through one of those ads, and we'd be more than happy to talk to them and see if they did.
I know my dad did it for a little bit at Hall Creek.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad did for a little bit. He enjoyed it.
No, it's a very rewarding
Yeah.
job when you get to see the families and the kids come
That's
out
what I'm
into the
saying.
rec areas,
Yeah.
and then it's just one of those things.
Absolutely.
You like to see people have a good time out there.
Yeah, it just makes you in a good mood.
Yeah, always.
So back to you, Evan. I'm gonna kick over that cup about 5 more times today. Sorry, y'all. All right. So we talked about habitat improvements. Does changing water levels affect fish spawning?
Well, funny you should bring that up. Probably a lot of people don't know, but during the spawning season, which is April, pretty much all month April, as soon as we hit 65 degrees, and this is the fisheries bond, this is when it takes care of this. I don't have any dealings with this, but as soon as it's 65 degrees, it'll hold it. The water level will hold for until about 70 degrees. So that water turns 70 degrees, which is typically 2 to 4 weeks, and they can go back to normal operations.
Okay. That kind of helps with like not too much water moving around, so fish
Yes.
can not lose eggs and things like that. Correct. Okay. I got you. Let's see here. Let me go on over here to my other questions. Does you said you might have already answered this. Does the court work with the state to improve fishing? You said.
Yeah, both South Carolina and Georgia DNR. In the years past, we've done water willow planting. So water willow is a native herbaceous emergent aquatic plant.
Mm-hmm.
It's native around the creeks, and you can find it out here on the lake where we plant it in some areas. Maiden cane, so we're actively transplanting maiden cane, the grass species that you see up in the north of the lake,
Mm-hmm.
taking it and trying to get it established down on the south of the lake.
Mm-hmm.
It provides very good cover, excellent nursery habitat, coverage.
Yeah, cover in general. Gotcha. I gotcha. What shoreline habitat do you think benefits just fish in general the most that we have at Clarksville, or do you have one?
Like I said, diversity.
Diversity.
I like diversity.
Diversity. Okay.
Because here with the plantings that we do with Georgia, probably a lot of people don't know, we actually have a nursery that we actually grew about 2,000 potted water willow plants a year.
Mhm.
And now we're starting to establish cypress trees as well. It's going to be cypress trees out there.
What do those trees help with? I'm just curious for myself, like the water willows and the cypress trees. What do they help with?
So water quality.
Water quality?
Soil stability,
Okay.
water quality.
I got you. Does it help with erosion and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Erosion stuff? Okay. Are there any hunting opportunities on Corp's property? And I'm actually curious about this, that many people don't know about.
Yeah, so altogether, as far as like managed lands that are actively managed by the states and us, is comes about 56,000 acres, so that means active management. What I'm talking about is prescribed burning, food plots, timber harvest, stuff like just to improve the overall general habitat of the area.
Okay.
So as far as us, so we manage out of that 56,000 acres is 26,000 acres. So more of it's on the Georgia side, and then we got a little bit of acres on the South Carolina side as well.
Where are those places at? I'm just curious.
So they're scattered. You can go on our website. We actually got an interactive hunting map.
Okay.
Something like, I don't know if everybody's seen like Georgia DNR or South Carolina DNR.
Yeah, tell us where to go, yeah.
So it's on our website.
What is that?
So as soon as you get on there, you hit natural resources,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll bring you. You'll see on up under that natural resource. Once you click on it, it'll say hunting maps.
Hunt maps?
Bring you right to the hunting section on our webpage.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there going to be
Click
curious
the
about it.
fishing. There's a fishing interactive fishing map as well.
Okay.
Fishing section.
Yeah, I mean, in general, we have a lot of great information on that website. So,
Okay.
I mean, if people just have questions in general about the lake, and
Mhm.
we're not always able to answer the phone every single time.
Oh,
Sometimes
absolutely.
a lot of rangers, just like Evan, he goes out in the field all the time.
Mhm.
But if you can't get the answer or somebody on the phone immediately, honestly, I would recommend trying that website first, because we just got a lot of information out there that might answer a lot of questions.
That's appreciate that. There's so many questions out there that we're not even going to get through all of them today. So.
No, I'm sure.
So another question I got off the top of my head that I remember people asking was like, so when the lake drops, there's lots of people out there that might not have access to like GPS on their boats, right? And so I got this question from a few different people. They were asking like, do y'all have any, or will y'all plan on making any updated maps that shows like shallow humps or like humps that come up are like ones that are just underneath the water now with the water low. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or is that possible, or?
I'd say it's almost impossible. It's really hard for us because we got almost 70 plus thousand acres.
Thousand
of water
acres, yeah,
out there.
that's a lot.
And so, I mean, yeah, when we get into a drought like this, obviously it can expose hazards that typically aren't there when we're at full pools. So, no, the best thing to do is to go back.
Mark it? Oh, I just thought about it, people that don't got GPS, so I
Yeah.
can't mark it.
I mean, the best thing to do is just to go back to, your boater safety, education.
Yeah.
It's really important to stay inside those
Channels
channel markers.
markers,
If you stay
yeah.
inside those channel markers, you're going to be safe.
Mhm.
I mean, the second that you venture outside of one of those, you just really need to be aware of what you're doing. Keep your
Yeah.
head on a 360 swivel and just make sure that you're looking for any kind of
Mhm.
potential hazards. Because whether the lake's, full or we're in a drought a little
Mhm.
bit, there's going to be hazards all the time.
Sure.
I mean, we can't mark every single tree that ends up floating up out there, some
Yeah.
kind of debris
Yeah.
and whatnot. So it's difficult for us to do. We always try to keep in mind safety.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing for us. So if there's something that needs to be addressed out there, the Corps is always going to try to do so.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Or like
it's one of
it-
those things. It's
yeah.
a lot of land, it's a lot of water,
It's a
so
lot of
it's,
land.
and
Absolutely.
things always change too,
Sure.
so it's hard to manage.
I got you. I bet so. One more question I had pertaining to something like that was, same kind of topic was, the channel marker buoys. And I had this question too, because I remember when we were traveling back from July 4th, we were going from over here in front of the dam to back, all the way back to, Mistletoe. That was a good little trip, right in the dark. And we were trying to follow the channel markers, which we kind of knew where we were at. We've been on this lake 30 years, blah, blah. But we were thinking about other people, right, that don't go up there all the time, that might be confused and they don't know where to go. Do y'all plan on, or could y'all possibly put like some kind of like high reflective tape on the channel markers or something so they're like easier to hit with like a flashlight or something? Y'all plan on doing anything like that? I seen several. The reason I asked that, so I seen several that wasn't like I shined a light and there wasn't nothing
Yeah.
on it. Like it was just a buoy.
No, I
Some of them
understand
have
that,
been
so-
hit too here lately.
Yeah. No, it's, kind of a, I guess, tough. for us
Sorry if
right
that was
now
a
as
loaded
well.
question.
No, you're perfectly fine. I mean, once again, when we had the hurricane come here, which has been pretty much since I've been here, it not only knocked out trees and campgrounds and whatnot, it disturbed a lot of buoys.
Buoys,
We had
yeah.
over 100-mile-an-hour winds out
Yeah.
there, so we're more or less focusing on pretty much what we have out there, trying to get everything back exactly where it needs to be and in the shape that it's supposed to be before we start.
Before we move forward, like you're kind of like you
Yes,
saw on
sir.
new.
Yeah.
I got you. That's fine. I just wanted to ask that. Other people was curious about it too.
Absolutely. Fair question.
Let's see here. All right, so let's get to some fun questions. Y'all ready for that?
I'm ready.
All right, so Evan, go back to you then. What's one of your favorite places on Clarkshill?
So, I guess like Gary was talking about the Calvin Falls there, northern end of the lake, it's real quiet, there's no docks up there. Fishing's really good right now in Russell's Dam.
What about you?
It's kind
Like
of
you said,
tough
you didn't know,
Yeah, I mean, I don't get to get out on the water as much as I would like to, especially in my own private time. But
Yeah.
when I did first get here, I was here just a couple months before the hurricane hit, and I had taken my family over to the Lake Springs Park,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just blown away by that, its size and everything else, because the previous project that I had come from, they didn't have a day use area or a park of that size, so it was just cool. It's absolutely massive. We have all the facilities in the world there, all the amenities there,
Yeah.
restrooms, playgrounds. I believe we have 13 swim beaches in there, so it's such a massive one, and I like it a lot because it's cool. You can have thousands of people in there, and it's not like you're standing on top of one another.
Yeah,
It's just
true. That's very true.
So,
What's something that you guys have learned on your job since you've been here that surprised you the most? Whoever wants to jump in there first.
I guess when I first started, because I grew up in upstate South Carolina, I had no clue about this lake. 'Cause I always recreated at Heartland. So coming here, just the sheer amount of land, plus the public land that's down here that's available for people to hunt. Plus you got the lake here too. It's a hunter's
Massive.
paradise.
Clarkshill WMA and I don't know if there's any other ones, but that's about all we want. I got you. What about you? What's something that surprised you?
something that surprised me was like he was saying, just probably the general size
The
of the
size of it?
project. I mean, you kind
Now,
of.
what lake did you come from?
I came from Allerton Lake.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a relatively small lake, and that's
Mhm.
kind of what I was used to. I mean, I grew up on Harville, so
Yeah.
I knew size
Oh,
wise,
yeah.
that this project was bigger. But I left there. I spent a few years at that Allerton project.
Mhm.
It's relatively small, comparatively speaking, to this project.
Yeah.
It's a good sized project with a lot of the same opportunities, but coming here, having over 80,000 acres of land, 70,000 plus acres of water, it's hard to fathom inside your head just how big that is until you actually get out there.
And get on
Whether
it.
it's on the
Yeah,
water or in the
yeah.
land. Even though I'm in recreation, I try to get out there with some of our FF and WR forestry, fish and wildlife guys like with Evan, just so I can, try to fathom just how big this place is. But yeah, learning just how big this place is and how much opportunity, recreation, as well as hunting and fishing that we provide to the public out here, and how many people actually utilize that, it just blew my mind. So it was something really cool to see. It's really fascinating. You love to see the public actually use the public land out
Yeah.
here, and they definitely do.
Question, I don't know if y'all can answer this or not. I remember talking about it, but like, I know I had several people ask me, like, do y'all ever foresee like our lake having like more restaurants or anything like that on it? Did y'all ever see anything like that?
And that's definitely out of our department.
I
a
figured
little
it
bit
would
there.
be. I just
I
figured,
mean,
I didn't know.
And I mean, one of those things. You never know in the future
Yeah.
by any means as things kind of develop more and more in
Yeah.
the Augusta area. There
Who
maybe
knows,
is
right?
potential for
Yeah.
growth. I'm not sure. I wouldn't have the
I
answer.
got you. I was just curious why I was asking. Okay. You was talking about recreation, it made me think about that.
Yeah.
What's one of the questions that you get asked the most?
I mean, I think for both of us, we're probably gonna have different answers for that. Probably, it's just, when is this park gonna be open? And we got much more parks and campgrounds open now, but for the last couple of years, that's probably one of my biggest questions that I got.
Yeah.
Is when is it gonna be open after Hurricane Helene
Yeah,
hit us here?
basically.
Which is nice now, because sometimes I get those phone calls still, and I get to say, hey, go
Nope.
check out recreation.gov.
It's all open.
It is
Yeah.
open, guys. You can go book yourself a reservation, or one of our shelters in the parks or something like that.
Yeah.
Go out there.
What about you?
Probably lake level stuff.
Lake level stuff? Yeah.
Lake level stuff, and then, especially when I know I'm a biologist, they wanna know where to hunt, where to fish at, so.
Do you have to fib a little bit, kind of stretch the truth a little bit sometimes? You don't want to give up no too good of spots, right? Say, I don't know. I love it. So let's see here. I want to ask the last one. Can I ask that? Last one?
I mean, you can ask it, but I don't think either
You don't
of
have
us
to.
would
Okay,
have the
that's fine.
right
That's fine.
answer.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's see here. I don't know if I got any more questions for you guys. What level changes? We done went over a lot of the stuff. Invasive species. Misconception.
We've got one for buses as well. We'll get the dates. We got the dates.
You got that dates for busing?
Yeah. Yeah, so, Bussing Point, just imagine you're in Lincoln County over there. So we've got dates set, so September the 18th and 19th, so that you just bow only. October 23rd and 24th, and November 13th and 14th. It's a first come, first served, non-quota hunt, so you have to use your own tags if you can. Limit is $1, $2 a day. Buck has a restriction as 14 inches outside or 15-inch main bait.
Okay. Awesome.
Very good hunts, especially now that the habitat is very great over there now.
You know, it's like you were just talking about with all the new browse and
We've already seen the weight start going up in the doe, so that's a pretty good indicator.
the bucks are probably put on. Yeah. And even with rats too.
Yeah.
You've grown bigger rats, I'd imagine too.
Yep.
All right, something I wanted to ask you too. I forgot that I had a couple more questions on this other page. Look, yeah. What are you doing, girl? The bear sightings. I wanted to talk to you about the bear sightings before we got off here today. I almost forgot about that.
Yep.
What do you suggest as far as people if they run into any bears like on any of the campsites and hey baby, sit down, please. And like what to do if they encounter a bear, and like did y'all run into seeing any yourselves as y'all been out there the past few weeks?
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I've seen the tracks over at Bussy, of course.
Yeah.
It seemed like there was some resident bears living over there. But as far as like, just keep your ground and just stay still.
Yeah, that's what I said too. Stay still. Don't leave no trash and stuff out and food.
Yeah, but make sure you put all the food up and stuff.
Treat it like Gatlinburg. That's what I was telling
Yeah,
people. Treat it like Gatlinburg. Is that what you would say too?
Yeah, that's what I would say. In general with wildlife, it kind of goes for anything.
Yeah.
You always just want to be aware of where
Yeah.
you're at, your surroundings, and I think pretty rare to have bears down
It
here
is.
for the most
It is.
part.
But
So,
that may-
I
I
mean,
think
it
what it
definitely
is,
happens time to
since
time.
Arlene's opened up stuff, we're able to send it out. through these dense, these dense towns, where they've probably been there the whole time, moving around, but just couldn't see them.
That, and I've heard people on podcasts and stuff talk about using new cell cameras and trail cameras and stuff like that being more popular and people being able to see stuff in real time too.
Yeah.
My gosh, if y'all go back on my page, I don't know, about a month ago is when it was really going off good. And I had so many people sending in bear photos of Bridge Road or just all over the place.
Yeah.
And it was just seemed like all of us was talking. It just seemed like this year, was, for whatever reason, it was like a bigger spike in bear sightings around the area than years past. So I don't know, it's really weird. I don't know.
It's better habitat for them too, as well,
Yeah.
with everything else.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. See if I got anything else for y'all before I get off of here. To let everybody know, y'all probably curious about the Little River Bridge idea, the lights and the dock proposed thing I had to talk about. Just want to let everybody know that's more or less, other avenues. That's the whole other thing. That'll be us trying to, that's something we have to elect leaders for, right? And get funding from
Congress
and stuff like that. Crazy ideas for proposals for things.
Proposals,
Yeah.
it would just pretty much fall again within that jurisdiction.
Yeah,
We
so
can handle that part.
I just remember I posted about it. People were wanting to know about it, so I'm just kind of letting them know about that. Yeah, definitely. Just that'd be something we have to do on our own. But yeah, I think that's going to cover about everything. Everybody was just asking about the buoys, shallow water humps, water control. They wanted to know about the fish. I think I covered about everything. Well, I guess we can kind of wrap it up. You got any other announcements or anything that anybody public needs to know about?
I would just like to say, and Army Corps of Engineers, going back to the safety, that's a huge part of what we do here. So just throwing a little water safety message out there for everybody that's going to come to recreate on the lake. We always want everybody to be safe. But if you're going to be out there on the water, or if you're going to be in the water, I know a lot of people kind of wait out there to go fish. Wear that PFD, wear that life jacket, make sure it's Coast Guard approved. If you're getting out there on the boat, make sure that you got all your safety equipment just in case something fails. Kill switches on boats, noisemakers,
Whistles.
whistles, yeah. You just want to come prepared. Sometimes, things happen, it's unexpected, and you just don't want to be caught off guard. So, just from the Army Corps of Engineers, just always wear your life jacket if you're going to be out there on the water. That's going to be the number one thing that's going to help save your life when you're out there. And I know a lot of adults, as soon as you reach stage 13 and over, you don't have to have a life jacket on necessarily when you're out there on the boat. But you're not going to see us, you're not going to see any kind of other law enforcement agency out here, DNR, whether it's Georgia, South Carolina, doesn't matter. We're always going to have our life jackets on. So just make sure you find one that's Coast Guard approved, comfortable for you, and never hurts to have extra on a vessel. And just always wear it. We cannot recommend it enough. Wear that life jacket when you're out there on the water.
I know. I just read a story about it in Ohio. Did y'all hear about that? The 5 people tried to rescue that one person drowned, and then all 5 got,
Unfortunate situations happen like that all the time.
Crazy,
And if
man.
you just had one life jacket.
And that's what I was thinking. I bet none of them had a life jacket on trying to go out there.
Someone who drowns never has a life jacket at the end of the day.
That's sad.
And it is sad. And the Army Corps of Engineers, they just want people that are coming to this project to recreate safe at the end of the day. And so a lot of those fishermen out there, honestly, you see a lot of those guys wearing life jackets
All the time. Yeah, that's smart.
And so it's just one of those things. They do a really good job at it, and we try to we try to praise it every single time we see it out there. We do water safety checks when we get our boat out there for patrol on the water and whatnot. So every time we see it, we try to praise it. And anytime we don't see it, we take every single opportunity to try to educate the public. And you have such a great platform with your podcast here and reaching out to a lot of local people. So this is me reaching out to everybody that's tuning into this. Please wear your life jacket.
Please wear your life jacket. There we go.
I'd like to send it to land too. Hunter orange is important because hunt season's fixing to start. Using just a regular tree stand, make sure you use a harness as well.
Yep.
If you're using a saddle, you need it.
Yep. And no permanent stands on them.
Yeah, no problem.
Just want to throw that out there.
It's got to be something removed by the end of the season.
But I thought it was the end of the day. It's not the end of the day. The end of the season.
It's different on WMA.
Okay.
If you're hunting core, just core season use, core management units,
Okay.
by the end of the season.
End of the season. Okay. So let me clarify that. All right, guys. Olivia, you can get ready to turn off, baby. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in, and thank y'all for watching. And like I said, I'm gonna be providing a link later on for the Savannah River Basin Drought Management Plan. I think I said that right. And for everybody that has any more questions or want to look into that, like I said, it has everything you can ever imagine on there. And what the Army Corps site also has.
Yes, sir.
And he'll give me a link for that too, and I'll add that after this interview is over. So thank y'all very much for watching. You bet, baby.